So let's talk about real estate investing. Did you know that investing in real estate is a great way to create passive income, meaning you can make money while you sleep? Also, did you know that the majority of the world's millionaires invest in real estate, and they suggest investing in real estate is a great way to build wealth? Hey everybody, my name is Jason Foreman. I'm a real estate agent. I created this YouTube channel to help people sell their home and put the most money in their pocket so they can move on to the next stage in their life. I also created this channel to help you learn to invest in real estate. I put a lot of time and effort into creating this video and making it perfect just for you. And in return, I would definitely appreciate one of these, a like for the YouTube algorithm. In this video, I'm going to talk about a few things. First, I'm going to talk about the different types of real estate investing. Second, I'm going to talk about how you can begin your real estate journey. Next, I will teach you guys some basic strategies to recognize a good deal to make sure you don't end up buying a money pit. Finally, I will give my final thoughts and a summary on the subject, as well as a few resources that have been very helpful for me and I know will be very helpful for you. Now, shall we begin? Let's take a look at the three different types of real estate investing. Number one, you have residential real estate investing. These are buying condos, single family homes, and townhouses. What's really great about this type of real estate investing is you can typically put less than 20% down as long as you live in the property, depending on your bank's terms. So this is a great move for beginners, and if you don't have a lot of cash, it's a great way to get your foot in the door. Also, you can get a 30-year fixed rate mortgage when you invest in this type of property, and that is definitely an advantage. The second type of properties that you can invest in real estate are the multi-unit and commercial properties. Now, this is a great way to make a lot of money. This is definitely a big boy move, and I wouldn't suggest this for beginners. Typically, when you're investing in commercial and multi-unit real estate, you need to put more than 20% down, so it requires more cash up front. Also, the rates are less forgiving than when you're buying a residential home. Usually the rates are variable depending on the terms of your loan. I would definitely not recommend multi-unit investing for beginners because it's a little more difficult to get in. However, if you're not afraid to take risks and you're not afraid to lose money in order to learn, and or hopefully you have somebody who has done this before, then I would say go ahead and try it. Otherwise, start off with something smaller like a condo or a house. The third type of real estate investing is flipping. Flipping is when you buy a house and you try to buy it for the cheapest price you can, fix it up, and then you sell it for the highest price. And the difference from what you bought it to what you sold it for is your profit. One thing to note about flipping is there's no cash flow, meaning there is no residual money that you get month after month. When you flip, you just get one payday. Another thing about flipping is you see a lot of commercials on TV, a lot of radio commercials, and people saying that they're flipping houses and making a lot of money. A lot of people are telling you, the general public, to flip houses. And I would suggest that you don't flip houses unless if you have a real estate license and you really know a local market very well, and or you have a lot of experience and connections with construction, because let's face it, these projects, when you fix a house up, they take longer than you expect, and also they end up being more expensive than you expect. And if you either do construction yourself or you know a lot of people and or you have a lot of knowledge in construction, you will be better at predicting this. So that's why flipping, okay, if you want to do it, go ahead and try it. I would not suggest it for beginners or somebody who has no knowledge in the real estate market. Some people don't consider flipping to be real estate investing because there's no long-term growth from it. It's just a one-time payday. I included flipping in this video because it's a strategy to earn money through real estate. Now let's take a look at some actionable steps that you guys can take. Step number one is how to begin. The first thing you need to do when you want to invest in real estate is to contact a mortgage broker. That is somebody who represents the bank that gives you a loan so you can buy the house. They will take that information and get you pre-approved, tell you the amount of the loan that you can qualify for. Now you know the sticker price of a real estate property that you can afford. By the way, guys, pop quiz. How much does it cost to hire a mortgage broker to get you pre-approved? Does it cost $10,000? Does it cost $5,000? Or does it cost $200? Select your answer. All right, if you said any of these answers, you are wrong. Trick question, you guys, it costs $0 to talk to a mortgage broker, and it costs $0 to get pre-approved for a loan. Once you're done with this YouTube video, make sure you go out and reach out to a mortgage broker. If you live in Los Angeles, go ahead and put a comment down below and we'll talk. I have a great person who will help you. If you live someplace outside of Los Angeles, just get on the internet, start searching, and find a mortgage broker and try to compare the rates that they give you. Now that you have your pre-approval letter and you need that to present to the sellers and the real estate agent that is selling the house, let's stop for a second and think, what is the goal here? So I don't care if you're a millionaire and a big shot or you're just beginning and you don't even own one piece of property. Everybody has the same goal in mind when they're investing in real estate, and that main goal is cash flow. Let me explain. Cash flow is the monthly income that you get every month when the tenants pay you rent. When you own a home, you pay a mortgage, which are payments paying off the loan to the bank. And when you rent, like most people are familiar with, you pay rent to the landlord, property management, or the owner. A great targeted way to reach this goal is to make sure that the rent that you charge is bigger than the mortgage that you pay. It's as simple as that. Use this basic equation. The rent that you collect minus the mortgage that you pay equals your cash flow. Got it? So if you collect rent that is, say, $1,200 per month, and then you pay a mortgage that is, say, $800 per month, $1,200 minus $800 equals $400 per month in cash flow. And don't forget, you're not just paying $400 once, you're getting paid $400 12 times per year. So 400 times 12, you get $4,800 per year. Pretty sweet, huh? Two strategies to make your cash flow bigger. Number one is to put a higher down payment. The more cash you put up front, the lower your monthly mortgage payments will be. And number two is to get a lower interest rate. The lower interest you pay per month will mean lower monthly payments, and the lower the monthly payments, the higher your cash flow. Now, right now, as this video is made, there is no better time to get a lower interest rate. Interest rates are very low. To put into perspective, back in the 80s, when my parents bought their house, interest rates were 12, 14, 16%. Right now, as I'm talking to you, if you have a credit score of 750 and higher, a lot of people are qualifying for below 3%, 30-year fixed rate mortgages. If you want to take a preliminary look at a property and see if it'll cash flow, use the 1% rule. The 1% rule goes like this. If you want to collect cash flow, you got to make sure that at minimum, the rent will be 1% of the total value of the house. Say, for example, you buy a property for $100,000. You need to make sure that bare minimum, this property will rent out for $1,000 per month, just a preliminary way to make sure that it cash flows. And if it doesn't rent for $1,000 per month or more, then just move on, go to a different property. You might like that house, you might like that condo, you might like that property, but because you personally like it, doesn't matter. If your goal is to invest in real estate, move on and find a property that follows the 1% rule. Now that you guys understand the process of getting pre-approved, and now that you guys understand the main goal of real estate investing, let's talk about how you can start to prepare to invest in real estate. First of all, you need to gather your money together for a down payment. Say, for example, you need to pay $50,000 down. You need to make sure that you have at least $50,000, of course. Take a look at the estimate of homes that you like, that you look at on the MLS or on Zillow, whatever. Take a look at the monthly mortgage payment based on the amount down that you're willing to pay and based on the interest rate that your mortgage broker gives you. This is a great way to estimate whether a property will cash flow. It's a little more detailed than the 1% rule, but remember, putting these values into a mortgage calculator is not a professional or a scientific tool. It's just another way to verify a little bit further that this will be a good investment property and that it will cash flow. To get a little more detailed to see if a property will cash flow, confirm further with your mortgage broker and take a look at a net sheet. The net sheet will tell you item by item what everything will cost and how much you will pay per month. Moving on to the next step of real estate investing is to get a real estate agent like myself. Pop quiz, how much money does it cost to get a real estate agent to write an offer on a property that you want to invest in and buy the property with that real estate agent? Does it cost you $10,000? Does it cost you $50,000? Or does it cost you $0? If you said $10,000, then you are wrong again. It costs $0 to hire a real estate agent when you're buying a property because the seller pays the commission. Guys, so now you have no excuse. It doesn't cost anything to find a great real estate agent who will look at properties with you and write an offer on a home for you. So go ahead and reach out to a great real estate agent who can write an offer. Here are a few questions that you should ask the real estate agent to make sure that they know their stuff. Number one, you should have your area that you're looking at, and your area shouldn't just be Los Angeles, something big like that. You should have it narrowed down to a few streets and maybe a 2-mile radius, something like that. You should ask the real estate agent, are you familiar with this area? The reason for this is that the real estate agent should know the projected values of these neighborhoods so that you can make money after you buy it by the property value going up. Remember guys, it's not difficult to get a real estate agent, so the quality of service varies a lot. You could get somebody who's a complete beginner and just kind of does real estate a little bit to make an extra buck or two, or they just got into it because they saw YouTube videos and somebody told them that they can make a lot of money doing it. And also you have rock star real estate agents who provide nothing but the best service for their clients and make a lot of money by making a lot of people happy, and it's a win-win. And there's everything in between. These questions will help you narrow it down and help you figure out what type of real estate agent you're talking to. Don't fall into the trap of simply buying an expensive home if you have the means to do so, thinking that it's a good buy. Remember, when you're investing in real estate, you want to look for growth. So if something's already at a high price, it may continue to go up, but it also may already be maxed out. Let's take a look at a Bitcoin example. Would you rather buy Bitcoin before it was popular and before everybody was ranting and raving about it, when it was about $20 or $100 per Bitcoin, and then cash it out when it's more expensive later? Or would you rather buy Bitcoin when it's already expensive at $14,000, and then maybe it goes up, but not by much, and also maybe it goes down? Of course, you'd rather buy Bitcoin when it's less expensive, but you have to be in the know. You have to know the right people who will tell you these trends and tell you that this Bitcoin is going to be more valuable in the future. Of course, there's some risk involved too. Real estate is no different, you guys. If the house is already expensive, it may not have any more room to grow. It may be a great neighborhood, but everybody already figured it out and the prices have already maxed out. Next, you will look at comparables, and that's just a fancy way of saying you will take a look at other properties that have sold close by that are a similar size, similar number of rooms, and similar condition to make sure that you get it for a fair market value and you're not getting ripped off. Let's get out our real estate investing checklist, shall we? Remember to use this checklist anytime you're looking at buying a property that you want to invest in. Number one, can you afford it? Your mortgage broker will tell you that. Make sure you have the down payment set aside. Number two, is it at least fair market value? You should take a look at that through access from your real estate agent to the MLS, the multiple listing service that shows homes for sale in that area. Number three, what is the rental outlook? And this is a little trickier than number one and two. Some of it is speculative, like for example, are more people coming to the area? Is there going to be a sports stadium built close by? Are there any colleges or schools or hospitals that are being built? Any large businesses, buildings, or cultural movements that will bring in a lot of people? That will cause the price of rents to go up because less places will be available to rent. That's good for you as a real estate investor. Number four, you want to take a look at how much will the rent go up after you repair the property. And a great way to do that is if you buy a fixer property, take a look at another home that was recently fixed up in similar shape that you want it to be and see how much that rents out per month. Finally, use the 1% rule and then more and more detailed strategies to find out, will the property cash flow? Keep in mind, if the property doesn't pass rule number 5, it doesn't cash flow, then just move on to the next property. You'll find another one. Let's say you see a property that you like. Your agent will put an offer. You may or may not get a response. If you don't get a response, don't worry, you can move on to the next property. If you do get a response, it will be one of two responses. Either they will accept your offer, and good, or they will counter it with something. Usually when they counter, they will tell you, you need to up your price. And from here you have a choice. Is it worth it to spend more money to get this house? You might be competing with other people. However, you want to keep in mind, if spending more money means that you will decrease your cash flow or have no cash flow, then as a real estate investor, not just simply a homeowner, it's time to move on. That's right, you're getting, you guys, this is going to be a very repetitive process, and you're going to go through a lot of properties that you're going to think are going to be a good buy, but some things might hang it up, and that's fine. You're going to have to do a lot of work and a lot of research. You're going to have to try and fail, but this is how you will find a little gem. You got to stumble a little on your way there, okay? Just trust me on this one. So let's say you get your offer accepted. Congratulations, you're in escrow. Now you have about 45 days to put roughly 3% down to show good faith that you're still interested in buying this home, and then you go through these different steps called contingencies, proving that you're ready to buy the home until finally everything is signed and the home is yours. You bought the home? Congratulations! You're not ready to make money yet though. First of all, you need to make repairs, if anything. Usually when you buy a house, if you get a deal for it, there's a few things that you're going to need to fix up. So number one, take care of that. Step number two, you need to put up rental ads. Put it in multiple areas. Like Graham Stephan suggests, don't just put your rental ad on Facebook Marketplace, which is a great and a free place to put it. Don't just put your rental ads on Craigslist, which is another free, great place to put it. Don't just put it on the MLS through your real estate agent. All three of these places are good places to put your rental ads up, especially if you could post something online for free. Just use it. Use every way that you can to reach as many people as you can. Even though you already bought the house, you're still going to use a real estate agent to help you produce a rental application. Now, if you've rented an apartment before, there's nothing different. It's the same here. Rental application is a basic screening tool. Right now, as this is made September 2020, people are probably going to use social distancing and do a virtual tour of the home. That's fine too. Regardless, people are going to fill out this basic rental application with their name, some of their information, sometimes their driver's license number. Typically, you want to run a background check to see if they have any dings on their credit score. The credit report doesn't necessarily mean that they'll be a good tenant and they will necessarily pay on time, but it is definitely an indicator. So after you have a few people visit the home and fill out the rental application, then you get to take a look at the rental applications and see, based on the information that they put, who will be the most qualified applicant. Once you find an applicant that you think is the most qualified applicant, you will use your real estate agent to create a lease agreement. Now, a lease agreement is a little more detailed than the rental application. And usually this includes references from their place of work and references people that they know that will vouch for them. Great, you have the lease signed and you like the tenant? Awesome. Select a move-in date that everybody likes. You'll collect a security deposit in case if the tenant damages the place before they leave, just to make sure that you can repair it, paint it, and make it look the same way it was before the tenant moved in. Congratulations, you have a tenant. Lease agreements typically last from 6 months to 12 months, but between you and me, you want to make somebody so happy and you want to provide a place that's so great that people want to stay there for more than 12 months, that people want to stay there for years and years and years. This is a win-win situation. That way they have a great place that's affordable to live in and it's in good condition, and also that way you continue to get income. Knowing that they're happy and knowing that they enjoy it helps you know that they'll stay in it for years and years. Next, you will do property management, or you'll have to hire a team to do that. There are many different tasks of property management, but it's summarized by collecting rent checks and also providing services, like if something like the water heater or the electricity is damaged, sending somebody out to fix that. Remember, this place needs to be in good, bare minimum, livable, safe shape for your tenants. So make sure that the smoke detectors are in, make sure that there's no mold or anything like that. Safety is your #1 priority. And now you guys are set. You're on a small path to building wealth. You have a new source of income aside from your normal small business or your 9-to-5 job that will pay you 12 months out of the year. And you also now have a tax shelter that will be a tax write-off with the interest that you pay, property taxes, and depreciation. I'm going to get a little more into that in another video later. So just go ahead and rinse and repeat. The more you do this, the wealthier you will be. Don't forget that each property you own and rent out is a small business. And especially in times like this, and especially during the housing crisis, which this whole country has seen, and especially crowded places like Los Angeles has seen, you are providing a service that is very needed for people. Make sure that you provide a great service for people and you make them happy, and good things will happen to you. A few resources that I want to share with you. #1 is the book by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This book is really great. There's tons of general information on how to build wealth and mindset. There's a little bit about real estate investing because Robert Kiyosaki is a powerhouse. He owns many, I think 1,200 or 12,000 units in real estate investments. So he really knows what he's talking about. However, this video that I showed you right here gave you more detailed and more actionable steps than that book will. I still suggest reading that book because it is a great book with a great positive mindset and general strategies to thinking like a wealthy person to building your wealth. Next up, I would suggest watching YouTube videos on here with Ken McElroy. I'll put his name down below in the description. Ken McElroy is an advisor to Robert Kiyosaki of Rich Dad. I think they mentioned that he manages some or most of Robert Kiyosaki's properties. Ken McElroy started off from the bottom. He was a property manager, like something like straight out of high school or straight out of college. He managed like a 12-unit building that was in not such good condition. He built his skills. He dedicated himself to his craft and being very organized and also serving the tenants. This led to him buying many investment properties and building his own wealth. Definitely check out Ken McElroy. One thing that's really cool about him is he does a lot of recent things. He does a lot of current things based on the current state of the market. He even projects a little bit. He looks into the crystal ball and tells you what is expected. Next up, we have biggerpockets.com. This is a great free resource with tons of videos similar to the one that I posted, but say that you only want to invest in multi-unit properties, say that you only want to invest in condos, say that you only want to do a specific thing. This is a great place to narrow down your focus and find something specific, either based on where you live or what your particular real estate interest is. Also, you could buy a lot of courses and a lot of things on biggerpockets.com. Some things you could pay for, some things that are for free. I would suggest check out the free stuff first and then dive into the stuff that you need to pay for. My final suggestion is that you guys play the cash flow game. Cash flow is a board game created by the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. It's basically like Monopoly, but it's more focused on owning investment properties. Some of it are stocks and things like that. You start off with a normal income, and then you keep building it and building it by buying investments, especially properties. And it's a really fun way to learn the mindset of a millionaire and how to build wealth. And you're just having fun. You're not risking your whole livelihood. You're not wasting money. And you learn how to transfer that into real life. I play it every day for fun. It's also available on Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad website for free. Just go ahead and create a login. Give them an email. It's really cool. You can play anywhere online. I've played that game against people in Taiwan, against people in Singapore, and during this whole crisis, everything that was going on, I was able to. Okay, you guys, well, thank you for tuning in once again. This is Jason Foreman. I would definitely appreciate it if you guys destroy that like button. And if you like this video and you want to see more, I would definitely suggest that you subscribe. If you want to take another look at a video that's similar to this, and I weighed in the pros and cons of buying a condo versus buying a house, then go ahead and click here. That video is posted here. Once again, you guys, this is Jason Foreman. We'll see you on the next video, and thank you very much.